This is Jon Rexius with Capital Chaos TV outside Ace of Spades in Sacramento, California. I'm here with Andreas Kisser from Sepultura. How you doing today, Andreas?
Good, feeling good.
Good. Thanks for meeting with us today. This is the fourth show of the tour. How's the tour going so far?
So far, so beautiful. You know, it's great. We start. Actually, our first show was the Rock in Rio, Las Vegas. It was the first time that the festival from Brazil came to the States, and we did a show with Steve Vai as our guest. It was amazing, amazing combination that was so everything was so right, because when you mix something so different like that, you never know, But usually everything works, and as it did on the show. So it was a great start, a great vibe, very positive. And next day we started in Phoenix with Destruction and Arsis, and today, as you said, it's the fourth, but it's the third show of this tour, and so far so good. Came from LA and a sold out show at the Whiskey, like great, vibe, lots of friends and stuff. It's great to be back,
Cool. So you guys are on your 30th anniversary tour. For those people who are not familiar with Sepultura, which it'd be amazing to me if people who are metalheads who are not, you guys started in Brazil. You guys ever get to go back to your hometown and see the old scene and meet with old friends? What's the metal scene like in Brazil?
Definitely, yeah. There's something that we never really lost, touch with those roots, because Paulo still have the family in Belo Horizonte, which is the city Sepultura started, and we have many friends there. We always, not always, but we play there, Sometimes we go to visit and do interviews and stuff like that, and we still have pretty much a very strong contact with people there. Of course, my family is from São Paulo. We live in São Paulo now. Everybody from Sepultura is based in São Paulo. We have our practice room, everything there and stuff. So. Very close to the family and friends. I live in Phoenix, Arizona during the 90s, where Sepultura used to have the headquarters. It was a great experience as well, But it's good to be home. Besides all the problems that Brazil have, and it's good to be home. You're there where you came from, and it's nice to recharge energies when we travel a lot, and it's good to go back home with family and kids and all. So this is very much our balance, to be on the road with our family on the road, which is our crew, and people in the band and managers and stuff like that. And when you go back home, you have your family. It's a great balance that you. I think it's very fundamental, to have to keep sane, during the touring, which is not easy,
Awesome. So, on a personal level, for fans who aren't familiar with how you got your beginnings, maybe tell us a little bit about your personal influences, how long you were playing guitar before you actually started in Sepultura, maybe a little bit of background about you as a person.
I started playing acoustic guitar, I don't know, back in 1980, 81. I was about 12 to 13 years old, and I started playing Brazilian popular music, just to learn the basic chords. But I wanted to play rock, rock and roll. I wanted to learn Stairway to Heaven. That was my goal, during my first guitar class. And since then I started, listening to heavier bands like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin, Maiden, Def Leppard, and then Judas Priest, Slayer, Metallica. So that was my main influence, to play the guitar. Of course, Kiss and Queen were the first bands really that draw my attention, to that style of music. And I was very lucky to see Kiss in Brazil in 1983 on the Creatures of the Night tour. It was my first big show, to see a band like that so closely, was an amazing impact on my life, So but I listen to a lot of stuff. I like to play with many different artists in Brazil, like from country music to pop rock to jazz to blues. I like to expand, the vocabulary in music and get new ideas and new experiences. So I listen to all this style of music, like reggae a lot too. So you know, and traveling a lot, it helps really for you to get new ideas and new ways of seeing things. You know, different cultures, different food, different drinks, different societies and religion and stuff like that. So you know, everything it's a source of influence nowadays. But on the early days was really the metal bands, you know, and we hated everything that happened in Brazil. We were very radical, but you know, slowly we grew up and we start traveling and seeing Brazil in a different way and start using those elements to make our music, which was something that really put Sepultura in a different place from all other other bands, you know, because we were using elements of our own culture in heavy music, something that nobody did before, you know. So it was really cool. We took our time really and did the stuff that we really believed, and we still are, you know. It's 30 years now with all different changes inside and outside the band, you know, like waves of different styles of music and technology, like vinyl to CD, CD to download, and we're still here, you know, with a great album, an amazing lineup, the great record label. It's the second year now that we're doing the tour for The Mediator, our last album, playing the biggest festivals in the world. You know, it feels great to celebrate such a special date like that, you know, in a great momentum that we are living right now. So now we are not that radical, and we open our ears and mind to absorb, you know, new things.
Very cool. Andreas, what is your personal view on the current state of the metal scene, kind of overall? The reception from maybe the younger generation towards Sepultura. How do you feel? Is it good, bad, indifferent, better? Just maybe your personal opinion on the way metal is these days.
Well, I think the metal lived a peak of popularity and influence, you know, late 90s, late 80s, early 90s, you know. I think from Master of Puppets to Nirvana, the type of, you know, period that was really short but very strong, very powerful, you know, that really showed so many great bands and great musicians, you know. They're still around and still jamming and playing. So I think metal, it's always strong, you know. I think only Metallica really did that, you know, arena, stadiums, and, you know, Metallica is something else, you know. You cannot really compare Metallica to the rest of the metal bands, you know. You see the big four, you know, the big difference that they are between them and, you know, Slayer and Megadeth and Anthrax, you know. So it's great to see that a band like them playing the music they did reach so, you know, such a high level, you know, and that's always inspiring, you know. But it's great to see that I have a radio show in Brazil, in São Paulo, together with my son. Johan is 17 years old, and we exchange ideas about new generation music that he's bringing, and my own experience being a musician, traveling the world, and we play from Beatles to Slipknot or Napalm Death, you know, like really extremes from one end to the other, and it's nice to see there are lots of Brazilian bands, really good Brazilian bands now, doing an amazing job, like really quality recording and, you know, producing the album very well. Lots of bands singing in Portuguese, which was something which was almost forbidden when Sepultura was, you know, starting, you know. That's why we sing in English, and that's why most of our bands we listen was from outside Brazil. But it's good to see that now Brazilian bands are much more respected in metal way than before.
Yeah, you guys definitely paved the way for that. You know, next question I'm going to ask, very respectfully, the fans and everybody are going to want to know. We know that Max and Igor probably are never going to be back in Sepultura, but do you guys communicate at all? Is the feud maybe kind of dwindled to that you're on speaking terms, or is that still kind of not happening?
No, it is. We have a bridge, you know. We have a door of communication, but it's very rare, you know. We are doing so many different things compared with what we do, you know. Max is doing something else, different projects, you know, playing with Igor again, which is cool to see. We are doing what we're doing, you know, working in a different direction. You know, a few years ago, we played the same festival in Europe, and we had the chance to see each other and just talk and, you know, exchange some emails and stuff. So that was cool, you know. But that doesn't mean that we're gonna work together. You know, I think that we did what we did. I respect that so much. Sepultura history is an amazing history. You know, 30 years, the band from Brazil, and we play 73 countries, you know, so far. And it's an amazing mark, you know, regardless of the formation or label, record label we were. Like I said, we're still here enjoying ourselves, which is the most important thing, you know. And I respect our past, but I'm not locked there, you know. I'm not a prisoner of my past. I live the present very strongly, very intensively, you know. But I respect the past, live the present intensively, so we have a future, and not really be there, you know, trying to replicate or reproduce or copy stuff that it doesn't happen anymore, you know. I had great memories working with them and stuff. We really did something really special, but they chose to leave, you know, a long time ago. Max in '96, Igor 10 years later in 2006, and you know, I guess they're happy with their choice, and we had to deal with the good and the bad stuff of that choice, you know. Max, when left, he took the management, he took all the structure that Sepultura took 10 years to build, you know, the bridges of trust and confidence with the label and booking agent and the press, you know. And we were really showed as the bad guys of the situation, you know, and Max took advantage being the victim and stuff, but we pass over that. I mean, it's something that was really healthy for us, you know, because we learned so much about business and management and how to take care of your own stuff, you know. And we are in a much better place now. I mean, there's no doubt about it. At the same time, we were like playing arenas and selling lots of albums. Our situation backstage was pathetic, you know. It was like a kindergarten, kids, you know, fighting for candy, you know. It was a very stupid situation. But like I said, I mean, we are in a much better place, and now we can enjoy ourselves and go on stage and look to each other's face and really respect each other on stage. We're not doing it for money only, you know, like people from Reunion, whatever, have this concept of Sepultura playing for money. It's not gonna happen, you know. I'm not gonna be a part of something that's gonna cheat our fans, and it's gonna cheat myself, and you know, I'm not leaving my house, my family and my kids just to be a clown on stage, you know. I'd rather be what I am, and if you like it, fine. If you don't like it, fine. Well, as well, you know. I mean, you're free to do whatever you want. I mean, we're not forcing anyone to like or hate us, you know. So but that's it. I think that's art in general, you know. We dealt with that throughout our whole career, regardless of the formation, you know. I think Sepultura is moved and fed and by challenges, you know, and we still have so many, you know. Like I said, we just came from Rock in Rio, Las Vegas, playing with Steve Vai, you know. It was an amazing challenge that we grew up so much as people, as musicians, as a band, you know. It's an amazing thing that we still have this kind of opportunities, you know, after 30 years, and we're still doing something new instead of, you know, trying to reproduce that stuff, you know, just for a few people that think they know more about Sepultura than ourselves.
Kind of all together, like you guys just recorded a new album last year. You're out promoting that album. After this tour is over, what is the next step for the band as a whole?
Yeah, fortunately we have a really pretty busy year this year, like it was last year. We are putting out a new song on June 5th, only on vinyl and digital. It's called Sepultura Under My Skin, and it's a homage to our fans who have the Sepultura tattoo, you know. Actually, this was the first Tribal S ever made. So, and it's great to see that lots of people have the tattoo nowadays, you know. And to celebrate 30 years of history, we wrote a specific song that's coming out on June 5th, and we're gonna play tonight as well. You know, we are playing on the tour, and it's great response and everything. But we have this North American tour up to mid-June. We go back to Brazil. We have 2 important shows in São Paulo and Rio, and then we go to Europe for more dates. We're gonna play Bloodstock Festival, Wacken Festival in Germany, Brutal Assault in Czech Republic, and other great festivals in Europe. And September, I have another group called De La Tierra, you know, which is sings in Spanish and Portuguese, and I'm gonna play at Rock in Rio with that group in September. And October, we like to do an extensive Brazilian tour. November, maybe Scandinavia, which is a part we didn't go on these last 2 years. And then, you know, start really working on something, a new album, after a little vacation, because we deserve it.
I'm sure you do. Andreas, I want to thank you for meeting with us today. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
What's up? This is Dave from Chernobog Drums, and I'm blowing it up.
Blowing it up.
You're blowing it up.
I'm blowing it up. Blowing it up with a mighty C for Capital Chaos TV.
Fuck yeah.
Motherfucker.